Hi everybody, this is Gordon Simmons, and today we're going to talk about some WordPress basics. Essentially, I'm going to do a series for WordPress beginners, everything from how to get into your administration area to what is in your administration area. We'll get into creating new content as a blog post. We'll get into creating new content as a page, updating posts and pages, adding media like pictures or PDF files or that sort of thing, adding videos to your website, all sorts of things. But for today, what we're going to do is simply have a quick introduction to your WordPress admin area. So this is assuming that whoever set up your website has given you a role as administrator so that you can log in and actually have full control over your website administration area. And if that's not the case, you'll need to talk to the person who set up your website and have them create an administrator account for you. So today, the only thing I'm going to talk about is a very brief introduction into your admin area, sort of a navigational tour of what you can expect to find there. So first things first, how do you get to your admin area? There are a couple of different ways. I'm going to show you what I think is the simplest, and it's just when you're at your website. We're at my website here. If you just append a / and wp-admin to your website, you'll come to the admin page. Yours might look a little bit different. I have a graphic behind mine. Yours may just be a plain gray background. Either way, that's fine. But assuming you've been given a username and password, go ahead and enter that into this admin area. And here we are. So this is the basic administration area of your WordPress website. From here you can basically have full control over the website. And to demonstrate that a little bit, I'm just going to show you, I'm a user. And here's my account, and you can see that I'm an administrator. That's my role. There are several roles that are available, and we'll go over those in later videos. But just for now, understand that because I'm an administrator, that means I have full control over this website. I can do anything that needs to be done. Other roles restrict access to certain things, and like I said, we'll get into that kind of thing in later videos. But let's take a tour. So this is your dashboard, and you can configure this dashboard in any way that you want to by moving these little modules around. So if I want my activity to be the first thing, I can put it up here, or if I want my at a glance to be the first thing, I can just click and drag. On the left-hand side, this is a sticky side, so these things always will be there no matter what screen you're on. You're always going to see this left-hand menu. And obviously you can see all the different areas here. You can manage your pages, you can manage your posts. Your media library is where all of your files go, your photos, your PDF files if you have them, that sort of thing. You can manage comments. You can manage the appearance of your website. You can manage the plugins. And if you don't know already, plugins are little programs that you install into your WordPress website to give you functionality. And an example of that is I have a contact form on my website, and the way that I made that contact form was by installing a plugin called FS Contact Form. And so you see that here in the plugin section. We showed you users, where all your users are going to live. You have some tools available to you that we'll talk about later. You have some settings available that I will also talk about later. And then you have some things that are just specific to the particular plugins that I've installed on this website to have certain functionality. So yours might look a little bit different down here at the bottom, but pretty much everyone's going to look the same in the top portion as long as you're an administrator of the website. So as we go back to the dashboard area, I want to show you something that's available on every page of your admin area, and it's this screen options. And if we click that to expand the drop down, you can see that there are a bunch of things checked here. Welcome is not, so I'm going to check the welcome, and you can see this area just popped right up. If I uncheck it, you see it goes away. So now everything is checked, which means we have all the available boxes for this particular screen, which is the dashboard, are available to us. And as I showed you before, you can move them around to suit you. We'll put at a glance. No, I have to dismiss that. So we'll put at a glance down at the bottom. over here and that sort of thing. So you can move these around. If you don't want to see all this stuff, if you only want to see certain things like your most recent activity, just unchecking boxes will leave WordPress news. So you see we have activity and WordPress news checked, and indeed that's the only thing that you see on this dashboard view. As I said, this applies to the particular screen you're on. So if we go to Pages, for instance, and look at screen options, I'm going to have different options because now I'm on a different page. If we go to Posts, I click on screen options. Once again, I have options that are only having to do with the posts of your website. So I just wanted to point that particular area out because it's something that can be very helpful to you no matter what screen you're on. If you're not finding something that you need to administer your site, you can click on that screen options and see if it's checked or unchecked. And if we want, oh, there's my welcome, I want my welcome back, okay, just check it, close your screen options, and there it is for you. So the welcome is unique, well, not unique, but most of them are not set up like this. You can simply dismiss the welcome without having to go into the screen options, as you see here. Most of the time you can't do that. You can simply collapse the boxes here and open them, but you have to go to the screen options to actually get rid of them or turn them on or turn them off. So that's pretty much it for that particular section. I wanted to show you that. Once again, there is a help here, which is great. You can get a little bit of help no matter where you are just by clicking this help drop down and follow these links. Can be a little rabbit hole-ish sometimes if you have to look at the documentation and kind of go back, but it is there available for you if you really get stuck. Most of the time I don't see too many people using this help. They generally take a couple of lessons, watch a couple of videos like this one, and they're pretty much set. So that's basically it. That's the very brief introduction of how to log into your admin area, how to look at users to see who is an administrator. If, for instance, and I'll just show you this real quickly, if Francis, I didn't want him to have full control over the website, I can give him a different role. And you see that in his user area, here's all the roles that I have available to me. He can be a subscriber, a contributor, an author, or an editor. And each of these has very specific areas that they can see or not see. An editor, for instance, is allowed to edit other people's blog posts, but they're never allowed to do things like, say, install or delete a plugin. Only an administrator can have the right to do anything with plugins, and that's why we see it here. If we were logged in as an editor, we wouldn't see this plugins on our left-hand side here. So I think that's pretty easy to understand. That's how you get in. A couple of things up at the top I want to show you. You notice that both here in plugins you see this red one, and up here you see the recycle one. If I click this and hover over, you see it's telling me that there's a plugin update to do. Plugins, as we said before, are little programs that add functionality to your website, and you can see that updating needs to be done relatively frequently, and it tells you what updates need to be done here. You can see there's a plugin called Revive Old Post, and I need to update that. I'm not going to do it now, but I just wanted you to be aware of what is up here on the admin bar. And we'll just scroll up, and we can always go home to our dashboard. One other thing I wanted to show you, I see people doing this a lot, toggling back and forth between two different browsers to see their website. If you hover over the title, you see this Visit Site here. And if you click it, you're still logged in as the administrator, but you can actually see your site live. Okay? Which is great, but then you have to toggle back to the dashboard. So oftentimes what I do instead of that is I will simply hover over my website name, right click, and then open it in a new tab. So I can quickly see, okay, here's my website, and then I can just go back to this tab so I can stay right in the admin area. To me, it's a little bit quicker. It's just a little trick that I wanted to show you. Other things, you can add a new practically anything up here in the admin bar at the top. You can add a post, which is a blog post, media. You can add a new page. This portfolio is specific to my theme, so you may not have that, and I'll get into discussing what exactly a theme is in a later video. Or you can look at users and add a new user here. But I don't want to give you too much today. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you how to log into your admin area. Remember, you go to your website address and then give it a /wp-admin. That'll bring you to the login screen. Log in, and you'll be here. To log out, you always want to log out. You don't want to just close your browser and stay logged in. So you want to hover over your name here and simply hit log out. And there you are, we're back to the login screen. The contrast isn't great here, but you can kind of see, I think, it'll say you can go back to your website, and now you can see there's no admin bar at the top, so we're no longer logged in, we're just viewing the site like anyone would. And that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video and learned a little bit, and stay tuned for next, where we'll talk about how to create new blog posts, new pages, and other content. Thanks again.